Hello everybody and welcome along. We are at Paul Ricard today for round 3 of the RWB GT2021. Currently on board with Mad Owl. Currently sitting top of the practice timesheets, as you can see there, and the only reason he's up there is because no one else has set a time yet. I've been watching the practice service throughout the day, and if you've been watching the Formula 1, and spoiler alert, turn off for the next 15 seconds. The weather at Paul Ricard today has been virtually the same as it has been at Spa. It's been either like this, or it's been pouring down, or it's been drizzling, or it's been wet, or it's literally been everything. And I know the drivers are really having a struggle to work out exactly what they need to do with the setup, which is fantastic because it makes for a really interesting race. So we'll look forward to today. Make sure you've got a brolly and sunglasses at the same time. Let's see if we've got somebody else on track. Who have we got? Oliver Curtin. Is he on track? There's Curtin. Let's go to the TV cam because it makes life a bit easier to watch, doesn't it? Beautiful livery on that NSX there. Lovely historic Canon ICI livery. Looking very nice. Where should we go? Let's go and talk about the championship, shall we? So after 2 rounds, Mo Plates finished P6, P4, finds himself at the top of the championship, 150 points from debug there. Got second place last round at Kyle Army. The actual torrential Kyle Army conditions were atrocious there, I have to say. I know because I finished last, but I did finish, to be fair. But I had 45 minutes of tepid enjoyment followed by 45 minutes of absolute pain. So they won't be wanting that today, but fair play to Debug. Great finish at Kyle Army, second place. That puts him on 147 in the championship. Jake Moore, who had a second place in that first race, remember, was it at Silverstone? I think it was at Silverstone. And then last time out at Kyle Army, had a few issues, a few bits and pieces went wrong, as most people did, and finished down in 11th. But watch out for Jake, obviously, a lot of speed for the man. He's currently sitting joint second on 147 as well. So how's my mental maths? 5 points behind that. Book check in the Bentley. Won the first race at Silverstone, finished P6 last time out. But a steward's decision cost him 30 points on the last round. So he's currently sat on 142. So obviously watch out for Ignazzi. He's going to be obviously pushing for the championship as well. Godzilla, third out last time out at Kyle Army in those treacherous conditions, and Rigel, who was victorious there, finds himself down in 6th position. Say down in 6th position in a championship with what, 50 people in it. I suppose 6 is okay, isn't it? In the top placed BMW on 136, just 14 points off the lead. And remember, 100 points up for grabs in each race, so everything to play for in this championship. Long way still to go, just a quarter of the way through after 2 rounds. So Oliver Curtin, it's currently going round. Let's go and see if we can find somebody else to watch.
Hello, hello, hello.
Is that Jay?
Yes, it is. I hope my mic's clear. I hope you can hear me.
It's good. Jay Panda's joined me in the commentary box today. How you doing, man? Good day today so far?
You know what? Honestly, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. Hi everyone. My name is Jay or Panda, whichever one you prefer. Yeah, honestly, I'm having a brilliant day. It's honestly seeing this track full. Well, not full just yet, but you know, we're almost there. But yeah, it's amazing. I think this race, I can't wait for this race. It's just going to be all around amazing, to be quite fair. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, all good, all good. I was just telling the guys watching how the weather. I've been watching the practice service during the day, and it has been everything from like blistering sunshine like that, to pouring down with rain, to drizzle, to a bit of everything. So the drivers are really going to have a lot of problems setting the cars up, because they don't know what the race is going to be like, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and see, I think that's the thing that makes league racing like this so unpredictable. Just at the end of the day, because you know, you go out on, you know, your first six, 7 laps might be dry, then it starts drizzling. Mid race, it's deadly raining, and then you have to end off with, in the dry. So it's, yeah, we're gonna see what France does. Hopefully, it doesn't throw too many curveballs, but I do think every single curveball it throws is gonna be an absolute amazing show to watch the drivers try and adapt.
Indeed, indeed. We're just watching Pinpoint going round here. We were watching Pinpoint going round. He's cancelled that lap as the NSX in the background watching earlier just pulls in. Let's go and find who should we look for on track. Not many people out on track. Phil Varley's down there. Let's go and see if we can find Phil. Oh, he's in the pits as well. About match long. Let's have a look. There we go. Nice cyan and yellow Aston Martin there.
I don't quite know how I feel about that. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's ugly, but I mean, could have chosen nicer colors, but it's fine. I'm not here to judge.
Everyone loves somebody somewhere around the world, don't they? So I'm sure Matt thinks it's lovely.
To be quite fair though, that Aston, it's not my typical car, but that thing has some, like, if you can drive that thing, in a respectful way, I can say, it has some power. It has some power itself, I do have to say.
I think
Aston is an amazing car.
Yeah, it's probably the most reliable car on the grid, I think, the Aston. I think everyone that drives it, and then they just go, well, is there anything else I can find a little bit more exciting? And a lot of people drift into other cars just to experience different things. But I think, if you're new to the game, if you just come into the game, or if you want to, especially like endurance racing, it's just something that will just look after you for the whole race. So, yeah, I say, like you, it's not my kettle of fish, to be honest with you. If I'm going to do shit, I want as many excuses as possible. And the Aston just doesn't give you that. It is, like I say, a reliable car that will look after you if you look after it.
It's too reliable.
Yeah,
no, but seriously, that's honestly, and that's, I mean, I think that's why it's one of those cars that I just absolutely love. But I do have to say, when we're talking my cup of tea, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here, might start an argument, but honestly, the NSX, I don't know what it is about that thing, but it just works. I don't know why. It just works, man. I absolutely love the thing.
What, driving it or looking at it?
I'll admit the exterior is a tad ugly, so I'd say driving it is a bit better. You don't have to look at it actually.
Lovely bit of reverse parking there from Shabum. I've got to admit, that was even in the pit lane, that was lovely. Didn't just escape. Went down to the end of the pit lane. That's reversed back into his box. Star points 100. You've already won the race, my friend. That was beautiful.
He doesn't even need to race. That's all we needed. We'll just give him the points at this point.
Exactly. I'd love to give you some more action of what's happening out there, but I think they must be going for their briefing because everybody is currently sat in the pit lane. A bit like a Formula 1 qualifying session back in the day. We've got nobody out on track.
Ooh, no, wait, someone's going out. Someone is going out.
I can hear an engine going.
Sky in the AMG. Ooh.
There we go.
There it is. What a beast that thing
is. Do you know what? That's my car of choice. I do love it. I tried the McLaren for some time, and I've just got to admit I wasn't good enough to drive. It was lovely. It was quick. The engine sound when you're driving it is just superb. It seems to be geared very well for a number of tracks, but it is just very easy to have it swap ends on you, especially at places like Barcelona through like turns 9 and 10. And I think after that I drove the AMG and literally didn't spin it once in an hour and a half race. I thought, okay, well, this is the car I need to drive. Can be quite difficult to set up on certain tracks, but is a very reliable car. Again, not reliable like the Aston, but it's a little bit more. It involves you more as a driver than the Aston does.
The thing about an AMG is, and it's a bit of a confession, this scares me. It and anyone who drives it scares me because it's so menacing. Like, so I'm always between the NSX and the McLaren, mostly dependent on the track. But I try and always stick with my NSX. But when you see those two headlights and that grille come up behind you of the AMG, it's menacing. Honestly, it is. I am scared of anyone who uses it because it's just like one of those things. I'm just like, no, I'm not good enough to drive it. So I mean, we definitely have a different experience there, but personally, I'm just one of those people. I can't drive, man. It's impossible. I don't try anymore. I just drive my small NSX.
I do agree with you. I think whenever you come up behind an AMG or a Bentley in particular, they just look twice as wide as any other car. I just think it makes an overtake a lot harder to do because the mental fortitude that you need to be able to make the pass, I just think needs to be a little bit more on those two cars.
But we do have to admit, the AMG and the Bentley both, and I'm glad you actually mentioned the Bentley, but they both have amazing straight line speed. I mean, I've been watching a bit of GT4, and there's a BMW, I think it's the M4, M5, yeah, in the GT4 series, but it's just like that in terms of it has immense straight line speed. I mean, personally, from what I've seen, most of the time, if there's an AMG behind you down a straight, it's probably going to overtake you because the engine that's in that thing is just it's honestly amazing. It's beautiful.
So the guy's just going through the final parts of qualifying. Check there, just testing his parking ability. Steering's obviously broken on it.
Did he
But
hear
yeah,
us?
guys just going through the bit at the end there. 25 seconds into free practice. No qualifying, remember. We're straight into the race. The qualifying positions set in reverse order of the championship for the first 25 places. So currently in 25th place is, as he quickly scrolls down, is Charger. Charger will find himself on pole position here at Paul Ricard. He'll have Oliver Curtin behind him, Simcox, Debug, and Schuler as well. So we look forward to that. That's going to be good stuff.
Do you think he started back there intentionally, or do you think it's just? I mean, I don't want to insult him, but you know.
I know Charger fairly well, but I don't know if anything he does is intentional, to be honest. I think it's all done at random.
I don't know. Hey, maybe he's playing the long game, man. Maybe he's just, extremely smart, and he, on purpose, went to the back, and he knew that he'd start off the front, and then we just see amazing pace from him today.
Well, there you go. You never know. So yeah, the guys just got one set of tyres. Don't forget for this race. So 90-minute race, one set of tyres. A mandatory fuel stop in the middle of the race. There's a 5-minute pit window, so expect a lot of action after about 45 minutes when everyone flies into the pits to get a bit of fuel on board. But they won't be able to change tyres, but the tyres will reset to the pressures that they set at the start of the race, which is a really important thing because they can have the tyres right in the window, come in for fuel. And I say there's no question when they have to come in for fuel. It is after that 42.5-minute window. Or a window after 42.5 minutes, rather, for 5 minutes. So they'll get no chance to actually keep the tyres as they are. They will be repressured. But the great news is for these guys is, look, the sun is shining. No rain like it was at Kyalami. No drizzle.
It's shining for now. You have
to... Wow, 31-degree track
now.
Temperature. I mean, it's sunglasses weather, in it. Get your sunnies on. Throw your umbrellas away in your raincoats. You're not going to need those today. Famous last words, but you're right.
You know what, Martin? You go for it. You put on your sunglasses. I'm gonna keep with my umbrella. I'm just gonna keep it by my side. But hey, you do what you want to. You do you.
So you've got your raincoat on. You'll be sweating. I'll be sweating because I'll be just too hot. I say 31-degree track temperature. So the tyres are going to get some punishment here today at Paul Ricard. They do have that long straight. Don't forget the Mistral straight, where the tyres do get to cool down a little bit and get a bit of a break, and then they go around the long Cygnus corner to give them that outside right tyre some real punishment as they go round and round and round and round until they come into the back part of the circuit. So that should be interesting.
I'd have to say, it's honestly, these drivers, I mean, what I've, learned this far, it's honestly amazing. I mean, some of these guys are really in a class of their own. And I do just want to say, I honestly cannot wait for, the race as a whole, because these guys are just amazing,
Well, that's good. Because it's just about to start.
Where did I place my popcorn? Damn it, I think I forgot it.
So here they come, down the straight. Consistent speed down the straight until the lights go. Don't forget, they'll all be in line, as you can see. Watch out for the lights. They're red, they're red, they're red. They go green. There we go, and away they go. Good start from Charger, Curtin as well. Simcox, Debug, and Forsberg all getting away well, but Charger's well away. Look at that, great start from Charger.
Can keep it into
the first corner. Curtin looking up the inside there. But that's a fantastic start from Charger. He's away. Curtin, Simcox, Debug, Forsberg. Dahlgreen's up in 6th, but under pressure. In fact, they're all under pressure as they come down. This tight right-hander. Jump that curb on the inside there, and then round and round they go.
To be quite fair, I didn't see any contact on anyone in that start. So that was
a
good
nice drive from all of them.
Wow.
Nice driving from all of them. Simcox now putting Charger under pressure. They're going to go round side by side as they come onto the straight. Simcox goes wide, so he's going to have to hand that place back. Curtin as well. On top of Charger, he's pulled onto the inside there. He's going very slowly as they come down the straight.
Is he okay? He's going extremely slowly.
Yeah, something's happened there. I don't know what though. He's lost about 7 or 8 places. He's just falling back down the field. Meanwhile though, Ian Simcox is away in his Aston Martin. He's round and through. Not quite sure what happened to Charger. He's fallen back in now though, so he's managed to pull it back up to about 6th place there. But literally came around that corner onto the straight. I don't know if they touched going side by side. Looked like quite a distance away from each other, but for whatever reason, Charger just went backwards from there, which is a shame because he had such a good start. But Simcox went wide around that turn to give Charger some space. I don't know if he'll get a warning for that, but they're allowed 3, don't forget. So Simcox will lead after the first lap. Sorry, man, go on.
I don't think Simcox will get a warning for that, because the thing is as you said, I didn't see, it isn't as if he just, blatantly, just cruised past. There was obvious kind of like a loss of power, if you get what I'm saying, from Charger. So I don't know, maybe Charger's foot slipped or whatever happened, but I don't think he shouldn't get a penalty. I don't think, just because I think he went wide more to avoid him than it was, out of.
Oh, absolutely. When I say a warning, it's just sometimes the game, if you gain time by going wide and off the track, the game will give you a warning. So, but they are allowed 3 before they get any kind of penalty. We're just looking here at Curtin, having a look up the inside of Simcox, but pulls back out of that one. So that's all good. Just go to the Helicam shot there, just to give you an idea of gaps between them. So Simcox leads Curtin, Debug there in 3rd, Jazz Forsberg up to 4th in the Audi. Dale Green in 5th. Binnersley's up to 6th in the Bentley. That's a nice start from Rick Binnersley there. Petter Peck in 7th. Charger's fallen back to 8th, but it's still in the race. Madley's 9th, and Kruger rounds out your top 10. Back in the field, though, we've got a bit of a battle going down by Bookcheck and Varley and the likes. Let's go and have a look back down there. Remember, these are the quick guys that will be coming through the field. So there is Bookcheck. Varley just behind him, having a look, trying to keep in the slipstream. Bops out now. They'll go 2 wide around Cygnus when they get there. Sorry, the stream is just a bit choppy for me at the minute, so it's kind of difficult to see.
Same as well. That's currently trying to look at it on my side as well. But yeah, because that's an interesting dynamic we haven't really talked about. Is the guys who are argumentatively faster than everyone else now have to gain 20-ish positions to get back up to where they're supposed to be. So it isn't just a game of racing, but now you have to constantly be overtaking and be ready for a move, because if they aren't, they won't get up to where they want to be.
So Bookcheck finds himself right in the middle of this. Oh, very close.
Nail biting, man. We didn't see him as well in that beautiful Bentley, may I say. We did see him set some good times in practice, so I'm kind of interested to see what he can do today, what he can show us.
Down to 12th now, so I don't know what's going on with Charger. If he set that car up wrong or something, because he's dropping down the field. Bookcheck just to be his next suitor. He's going to go up the inside here. Charger's going to let him go, I think. They're going to go, yeah, there we go. So Charger's
letting everyone go.
He is.
Oh,
perhaps it's Valentine's Day. We didn't tell him.
He thinks, he's just giving everyone the gift of love. Don't worry.
So Bookcheck now up to 12th. Varley follows him through to 13th. David Dorr looks like he's been the next person to pass Charger as well. It's a real shame for Charger. But up front, Simcox and Curtin are still out in front. The first 4 or 5 all covered by less than half a second. In fact, Curtin's going to look up the outside here in an NSX. We're going to go side by side through Cygnus. Simcox takes the inside. Curtin still hangs it out around the outside, goes wide, brings it back in though, just in time. And they're going to go wide through here. Oh, he gets on the marbles, there's Curtin, and that's pushed him, dropped him back a couple of spaces. Jazz Forsberg looking up the inside of him there, so he's trying to get a space off him there, but no.
I'm still monitoring Charger, and he's dropped another 2 places. He's let Rigel and Dor go past, and now Newcomer and Pinpoints are both going past.
Yeah, I think that now he's back into those sort of positions down there. That's where the real quick drivers are. Like Nate's back there, Newcomer, Pinpoint. Rigel's already passed him. Dor passed him as well. So he is really going to get swallowed up. The protection he had by starting on pole and having the other drivers down the championship with him, he's lost that protection now. Now he's just going to get eaten up by the Sharks, unfortunately.
But it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird because he keeps like phasing in and out like of speed, because he'll be extremely quick down the straights sometimes, if you get what I'm saying. Like sometimes he'll just be as slow as a turtle, and other times he'll be banging it down. So I'm not quite sure whether he's having some technical issues or what's going on, but he's definitely not the best day for Charger today, I can tell you that.
So Simcock's still holding the lead. Further back though, Debug, Curtin. In fact, look at that train at the back of them. Wow. Here's a view from Sablon. Let's go and have a look back there. Currently sat in 8th position in the Lexus. That's the view he's got as they all sit in a train. This should be interesting as they snake down the straight, all trying to get a slipstream. They're all trying to break the car in front, and as they do that, they'll have to move the one behind. So watching it, in fact, let's watch it for the helicam. It'd be interesting as they all snake down the.
Oh my word! That's so
Here
close.
we go.
That's so.
Oh, he's going to go 3 wide. That's Bennersy there in the Bentley with the pink flashes. He's dobbed out of that and lived to fight another day. Probably the wisest decision.
Binnersley, I think Binnersley just knew if he turned into that too early, he would have.
There's an accident!
Oh no!
There's an accident! Oh! Was that Peck?
Oh, no.
Peck's through in the blue Ferrari. I'm not sure who that was. I'm trying to watch the name dropping down the sky. Unfortunately, ACC a bit slow to keep up there.
It is. Sojblom now down to P9, lost 2 places because of that. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's one car spinning just, takes you down so much. And now he's under attack by that Bentley, right behind him of Buzek.
Yeah,
that's how I say it. Yeah, Buzek. That's under attack by him. Oh my word, this is turned. I mean, that shows you that's kind of all it needs for you to lose a couple of positions. Just one guy that spins, and you're completely gone. That's amazing.
Yeah. Just through to Bosa. I don't think they caught each other, but I think he just lost the back end. It just spun round, and then all the cars coming round. Remember, the cars are pretty much on full G at that point, and if you have to make an adjustment, you are going to either go wide or lose some time. And I think that's what happened to a couple of the drivers there. But one person who came at that really well, as you said, was Bookcheck. He managed to get through, and he's now sat right on the back tail of Shablom, Kruger. Peck's up there in that blue and white Ferrari you can see just in front. Let's go back to the TV cameras on the side of the road. A bit of a better view. Further back down the field, Varley, Wood, Rigel, Dor, Newcomer, Chargers down to 16th, as we said, Plate 17th, Pinpoint, Madhouse down there in 19th, Sharp 20th. To give you a run further down, Flack in 21st, Shepherd 22nd, Godzilla down there in 23rd. He want to improve from there. Lemke's down in 24th. Peter Varga all the way down in 25th. He want to improve as well. Dale Green, I think it was, that lost it on the corner. He finds himself down in 26th. He was in the top 10. So he's the guy, I think, that lost it at the top end of the circuit. Miko Sky's 27th. John D down 28th. Daniel Barnett 29th. Wow, Daniel Barnett in 29th. Currently sits second in the championship. Wow, that's interesting. Dale Kelleher 30th and Shablom down in 31st. So
if we could
Matt Shablom, that is, not Emil, sorry.
I was just about to say, if we could have a look. Sorry, you were talking about the top 10. If we could have a look at P2 and P3, if you could, Debug and Curtin. I mean, they are having, I don't want to say a battle, but Debug just can't seem to pull away from Curtin. Curtin is on him. He is, honestly. I mean, and Curtin has to worry about Forsberg as well, who's right behind him. But they are on each other. This is proper contending. I mean,
yeah, those front 4 are pretty consistent. Bentley's he got back up to P5 there, you can see. Remember, he went wide at let the cars through at the end of the straight in the last lap. Oh, look, was that a bump there from the NSX as he hit the Ferrari?
I think it was.
He got a nudge.
It was a love tap. We'll call it a love tap. Yeah.
Let's go and find Binnersy's car and see what Rick's going to see coming up the straight this time. So
Oh
you
yeah,
get the view of these four.
Oh, look at this
That's
train.
That's your first four in front. Binnersley's currently in 5th, trying to tag onto the back of these, just behind Binnersley. Madley's right behind him, with Peck, Kruger, Shablom, and Bookcheck as well. So here goes the snake down the straight as they all try and stay in each other's slipstreams.
I'd have to say I would like to be in P9 in Shablom's shoes because, you know, he's kind of at the ideal point. You know, he's in the top 10, doesn't have to worry too much about pace. He looks pretty comfortable, to be quite fair. Looks a bit in his... Oh, don't worry. Oh, no. P9. Okay, yeah, he's back in. Oh,
The
no,
leader's
he's
just gone wide there. I think Simcox has just pushed that wide. It's a bit difficult to see at 5 frames per second, but we'll try what we can do.
I'm just watching on my ACC at this point. Just a
So
bit easier.
Simcox and Forsberg. Forsberg's through now. So Simcox has gone from hero to 0, or hero to 4th at least. Forsberg up to 3rd. Debug 2nd. And is that Curtin's taken? Curtin's in 2nd. Sorry, Debug leads. My apologies.
Someone...
Oh, big
no!
accident
That
at the back.
Ferrari!
Peck.
Oh my... That's Peck.
That was Peck, and there was a McLaren in there, I think, as well, somewhere. I think
Peck
that might
now
have
down
been
to
Kruger,
P17.
was it? I think it was Peck and Kruger.
It was. Because they're both... Peck now P16, Kruger has... wait, what? Yeah, wait, was it Kruger? Yeah, so Kruger has yielded. Kruger now P16, Peck now P15. I don't think... That was just a minor tap. That's all it was. I think the Ferrari... I think it was the Ferrari that tapped the McLaren, and it was just... They both just went out wide. Kruger to the left-hand side, and Peck completely span out. Oh my word,
Such a
that was
tight
scary.
corner, and if you hit that sausage as well, if the accident takes you onto that sausage, you virtually are a passenger. You can't control it from there. But anyway, Peck was running the top 10, finds himself now down in 15th. Kruger just behind him in 16th. Pinpoint, Sharp, Godzilla, and Flapper in the top 20, but back up front.
Someone else's span. Sorry, I do apologize. Someone else spanned Audi in P26 by K. Shepard. Also spanned at that exact same corner. This is lethal. Oh my word.
So Debug and Curtin. Curtin really pushing Debug now. Just behind him as well. Forsberg, Keith and Morrison just behind them. Binnersley now finds himself in 4th place. Simcox now down to 5th. So these three... it seems to be like you go to the lead and you end up dropping a place. We've seen it from Charger. Now Simcox is on the reverse end, so fair. We'll just keep our fingers crossed for Debug. But Curtin putting him under pressure as he has done all race. Went hot into there, managed to get the brakes on in time. They're going to come to the final corner. Let's hope they can keep it straight here. Good corner there from Curtin. He's going to go side by side. Is he? No, he's going to tuck in behind. Down the straight they go. Nice slipstream from Curtin, but he's going to be second into turn 1, or is he? Goes on the outside, pushes the Ferrari, goes in a little bit deep, but he's got the control and the line for turn 2. Curtin is going to have a look though. So he get inside for the next right-hander. No, he's not going to get side by side. Oh!
Close. Oh my word.
How did he miss him? Wow, Curtin late on the brakes there, looking for a move, and almost took out Debug. And now Forsberg suddenly got an interest in it now as well.
Because that's cost Curtin so much time. I mean, it was risky, but it's cost him time. As you said, Forsberg are now directly on him, and Forsberg, I think, might just... He just wants to stick there, because if he can just stick right behind and just wait for them to do something like that again, he's got that position. I mean, then he'll have P2 secured. He just needs just one mistake from P1 or P2, and he's in, he's even higher up in the P3. Well done. Wow.
So the front three got 1.2 seconds on Binnersley. He's got Simcox right behind him with Madley and Shablom all getting that slipstream. Varley a little bit more way back with Bookcheck. In fact, Bookcheck's really side by side with Varley. Let's kind of have a look at him if we can get him on time. And that's how close it is from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Bookcheck at the back of that lot. Binnersley at the front of them. And then you've got Dorr, Newcomer, Plate, and then there's a couple of seconds then back to Nigel Wood in his Ferrari. Ahead of the spinning Petter Peck at that final corner a couple of laps ago. Rigel's up to 15th. Kruger 16th, Pinpoint 17th, Sharp Godzilla, Lemkin up to 20th, Flax dropped down to 21st. Dale Green on his way back after that earlier incident finds himself in 22nd now. Maddow down in 23rd. Sky, Vargas, Shepherd, John D. Dan Barnett's up to 28th now. I presume he's got some damage on that car because he's not got any speed in it, that's for sure. Dale Kelleher, Matt Shablom, and Charger finds himself in the pits. I wonder, did he start on wets, do you reckon?
Honestly, at this point, I don't know what to think. I'm gonna be honest, I do not know what to think because that is just so. I'm trying to still figure out because Charger is.
It was wet in free practice, wasn't it? Do you remember? And I just wonder, or was it? It was wet in one of the practice sessions. And I just wonder if he's done the setup and left the wet tyres on there, because that would explain his field.
Because honestly, I've had a look at it again and again, and I just that's the only explanation that makes sense. Because the wet tires and the wet setup could do that to him, just make him instantly slow. But the thing that still confuses me is that kind of like where he's had some performance issues, and on some places, and then a lap later on that same place he won't have them anymore. So I think it could maybe be a combination between a wet setup and maybe damage, but we didn't see him get tapped anywhere. So I'm not, honestly, if I want to talk to Charger after this, because I don't know what he's done. I don't know how he's done it, but I need to know, because this is honestly still boggling me.
Shablom up to 4th now. He's managed to get through on Binnersley. Binnersley now down to, where is he, 6th? Jasper Forsberg, in fact, he's 27th and 8th now. Really shuffling down the field there from Binno as he gets picked up a few places there. So Curtin, in fact, Curtin's got past Debug as well. I missed that one as well.
I think
when did that happen? So Curtin's past Debug. So Curtin leads now in the NSX from Debug. Forsberg in 3rd. He's got Madley just behind him. Binno is going to cross the line, not in 5th as the TV tower says. That's going to be a bit further down. So Madley 5th, Varley 6th, Binnersley is in 7th. He's got Bushcheck right behind him. And you can see they're all close up again now. I'll go to that helicam shot just to give you an idea just how close they all are. So there's your leader. 2nd and a half he managed to pull out there. So Curtin trying to pull the pin. But back behind him, here's your battle for 2nd. Debug, Forsberg. Shablom's there in 3rd. Madley's not far behind him. Sorry, Shablom's in 4th, sorry. Madley not far behind in 5th with Varley, the two McLarens, Madley and Varley. Binnersley 7th in the Bentley. Bookcheck sat there as well in 7th. But he's got David Dorr right behind him in the Lambo. So, yeah, all kicking off all the way down. 2nd down to 9th. That could change at any point as they go up straight.
This is honestly, this race it has amazed me. I mean, we've seen so much drama already, if I could say that. So much drama already, and we're barely, just a few minutes in. They are going 3 wide down there. Well, not 3 wide, but quite literally almost.
Nice move by Shablom there. He puts it up the inside of Forsberg, picks that one up. Forsberg's going to try and come back him up the inside here, but the R8, will it fit that? Oh, there you go.
He goes wide. Yep. Goes a bit wide and he loses
that. The curse of the lead struck again as Debug finds himself down in 4th. Shablom's got past, Forsberg's got past. Debug down in 4th there. Madley and Varley in the two McLarens 5th and 6th. Oh, he's gone round at the back there. I think it was a Bentley. Was it Binno?
I'm quite sure.
It was Rick Binnersley at the back there. Another car's waiting for him there. So I presume the two of them had an incident. And that's just a car waiting to put Binno back on. But knowing Rick Binnersley, he will be swearing his tits off in that car right now.
We would too, to be quite fair. We would too at that point.
And they're all going through side by side, 2 by 2 through the final corner. Binnersley there in, where is he, 13th now. Roger's just in front of him in 12th in that lovely lilac BMW. It looks beautiful. Binnersley in 13th, Kruger, Wood, Pinpoint, Godzilla and Dorr. In fact, David Dorr's gone down to 18th. Was it Dorr that came side by side? Because Dorr was up in the front in the top 5 or 6, wasn't he? I think Dorr and Binnersley come together there. So good friends, those two as well. So that should be interesting.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They were good friends.
So Oliver Curtin up front, still leading. Sorry, go on, man.
Charger's still in the pits. Still. I'm sorry, but that has to be damage. Because, I mean, I just can't wrap it quite around my head. He's been in the pits for what now? 2-3 minutes? If not longer? That has to be damage or some kind of problem on Charger's side, because
Perhaps
he's just not getting up his hole.
Perhaps he's like got into some sort of like epileptic fit or something. I don't know. But
I hope he hasn't.
Something's obviously happened to Charge, because as soon as he came onto that straight from the front, you obviously got a great start away. Who's Bino looking to get? Yeah, he's giving him some space, but he's got plenty of room there in that Bentley. He's going to swing it round, and McLaren tucks in behind. But yeah, just hope Charge is okay, because that would the only thing that would explain it. He's had some kind of issue in real life there, and that's why he's had to park it up maybe in the pits for a while. But we'll find out at the end of the race, no doubt.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him. I hope everything's fine. Charger, if you're hearing us, I do hope everything's fine, of course. But yeah, that's just that's one of the things that makes sim racing so unpredictable. Is if something doesn't happen to in game, it's something IRL, and you can't predict that. You know,
Exactly.
Curtin now leading by a fair bit. He's having the time of his life. I mean, you know, open road basically for Curtin. He's just trying to keep the pace, and if he can keep the pace up, he's in a good position. Well done on Curtin, man. Well done.
David Dorr coming back on Godzilla as he tries to make his way back after that incident with Binnersley earlier. So David Dorr down in 18th and stuck in this train now. But yeah, up front, Oliver Curtin, there he is, up and away by himself in that rather beautiful NSX. He's got 2.8 seconds on Shablom now in second. And the first four actually quite spread out now. You've got 3 seconds Curtin, Shablom, then you've got a second between him and Forsberg. 2 seconds back to Debug as well, and then the challenge of Madley, Varley and Bookcheck. In fact, let's go and have a look at that one, because that looks where it's going to get interesting, I think, as they come down the straight. And you can see just behind them, Bookcheck, Plate. In fact, Plate, your fastest lap of the race. I thought, whoa! Threads the needle there. MO Plate, he's going to go through.
That's too close for comfort, man. That is too close for comfort.
The McLaren will push him out wide as they go round through the corner, but Plate's going to hang it out there. So you're going to pull it back in time. He does. But the McLaren...
Ferrari versus the Bentley. Who's going to get that? Heading into the right-hander. The Bentley seems to have a bit of a no. Ferrari absolutely goes. Oh, Bentley late braking. Can he? No, he cannot. Oh, my word.
Bookcheck and Plate are probably two of your favourites for the championship. Those two really fighting it out.
But I think, that's what this type of racing, it's amazing, man. I mean, for them to be that close and not, touch each other, not make a single mistake. I mean, just look through that. Not as close as they could be, but I mean, still, relatively close, and they're just so extremely good. Well done to them both. Oh my word, absolutely amazing.
Indeed. Must be purple for fastest lap of the race. Who's pulled that up? It was MO Plate, but can't see that just come up there. But yeah, MO Plate was your fastest lap of the race. But to give you an idea of time, that was a 1:56.0 for Plate. Newcomer not far behind, 1:56.2 on his last lap. So he's got plenty of pace. To give you an idea, the leaders are going round in 1:56. Well, bad lap for Curtin last time, 1:56.8. And Shablom in second at 1:56.1. So Shablom really on the pace. He tried to pull that gap back to Curtin. But those front four getting a little bit more spread out now. And then you've got this battle here with Debug being challenged by the two McLarens. You can see at the top of your screen there, Madley and Varley. And they're closing on the Ferrari. So that's going to get interesting to go through Cygnus there. And then behind them, Plate, Bookcheck and Newcomer are there as well. So...
Oh. Look who's joined to talk to us. It's the man himself, Charger. Can you hear us?
What happened, man? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to come in and tell you everything's fine. Yeah, the car was undrivable. PSI was spot on. I got him off Binnersley, but I didn't have full throttle.
Oh! Debug turned round there by the McLaren. I'm not sure if that was a mistake that was already happening from Debug there, or whether that was an incident, but whatever happened, Madley just took the rear end of Debug, spun it round, and Debug takes the curse of the leader even further. He's going to drop down further down the field. And that's going to push Varley and Madley up to 6th and 5th, respectively. Plate now 7th, and Book Check right behind him in 8th. So go on in, Charger. What happened, man?
I didn't have full throttle. I don't know if you noticed people going down the straight. It was
Yeah.
hissing
Yeah,
past me. There was nothing I could do, and I'm like, "There's something not right here." And I was trying to sort of concentrate on doing that, and then I spun. I think I clipped flak or pinpoint. Sorry about that. And the car was just undrivable, even though the PSI was spot on. So I don't know.
I thought you had wets on at first, but then when thinking about it, I thought it wouldn't. The wets wouldn't make a difference down the straight. That must be something to do. And I just thought you had some sort of issue in real life or something. But that explains it now. If you didn't get full throttle, that would explain why you just went plummeting back down the field.
But we are extremely glad you're okay. We are extremely glad.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just one of those mechanical failure happens.
Always happens to you though, Charge though, yeah.
I never get a chance to practice before. I should have put some practice in, and I would have known that I didn't have full throttle.
Let's be honest. If you'd put practice in and that would have happened, you'd be even more pissed off, wouldn't you? Let's be
Well, yeah, that's true.
So 2 McLarens. In fact, no, that's plate.
You know what?
Moving up the inside.
Charger, just do yourself a favor. Just say it was the wet setup. Just say it was the wet setup and something happened. It's fine. Well, no one will know. We'll forgive you. Nothing.
I did actually check if I had wets on, because that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's what I thought it must be. But like I say, because you lost the pace down the straight, that's why we think, well...
It was ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. They must have had 10 mile an hour on me.
Easily.
Yeah, I think it was Simcox who gave you a lot of room on the inside of the corner as you went round it. And then he just drove away and you were just like, bye.
Yeah. Because we were at that point,
we
were like talking, whether Simcox was, trying to avoid you or, whether you guys might have tapped or whatnot. But that makes a lot more sense, as in you just couldn't get away. Because he was making you look like a turtle, I'm going to be honest. That was amazing.
Well, I think I lost about a dozen places on the first lap.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, mate. I think you're down to 14th at one point, I think, on the... by turn 2. Just watching Nigel Wood here getting challenged by Sharp for 16th place. The Ferrari and the Lambo looking very resplendent there as they go through turn 1 and 2. David Dorr just behind them in 18th. Dale Green and Lemke 19th and 20th. So, in fact, Sharp's going to have a look down the inside here of Wood as they go through the right-hander, and he's got it done. Nice move by Sharp there. Wood drops down to 17th now. Dorr.
Look at Dorr right behind him. Really giving him a bit of a challenge at this point.
Yeah, Dorr and Bunny, remember, came together in that earlier incident. They were in the top 10, but now find themselves back in the midfield. Dorr's got a bit more pace than that, so he'll be looking to get past Nigel Wood as soon as he can. Back up front, though, Oliver Curtin's been reeled in by Chablon. The gap now, you can see there, under a second. Chablon really got some pace. He's pulled out 4 seconds on Forsberg, now in 3rd. Varley's in 4th. Plate in 5th. Madley 6th. Bookcheck still in 7th, really pushing Madley. Not much change between them two. Newcomers up to 8th in the Lexus. Petterpeck finds himself in 9th now after that earlier incident at the final corner. And Simcox, who was also doing really well at the start of the race, remember, past Charger, as we said, through onto the straight. Back up to 10th now after his incident. So there we go. All changed for the first half an hour. That's been interesting for a little bit, hasn't it?
But I mean, that's honestly, I think that's what makes these longer races, and when I say longer, I quite literally mean an hour and a half. So interesting is, it isn't like a bit of a sprint race, where, if you start last, you're going to maybe finish medium. These guys, the really fast people actually have overly enough time to, completely kind of like reset, get their minds together, and get to the front of the pack. And I mean, without the qualifying, I'm not quite sure whether that works against them or whether it works in, kind of in a well manner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're definitely having some fun out there. With the amount of overtakes we've seen today, and just the amount of fun, I think they're definitely having some fun. But it's made for some extremely good, serious racing. I mean, Oliver Curtin, once again, he's leading, man. He is just absolutely leading. He does have Sojblom on his back, looking as if he wants to maybe make a move. But I mean, in general, these guys are just, now it's kind of just a thing of can they hold? Who's going to break, them or the car? So we'll see. I think the last 30 minutes of this race is going to be quite interesting in terms of, how it's going to work out. I'm not quite sure, Martin, what do you think? What's the most exciting part of this race, if you had to decide?
Well, I would say, not say the most exciting part. The thing that's going to really determine where these guys come and shake out is going to be the pit stop phase, which will be in about 10 or 15 minutes. It depends how clever these guys are at getting their pit stops absolutely nailed, how much fuel they started with and how much fuel they're going to have to take, and that's going to really determine where these all shake out. And I think once we come back after those pit stops, that's when, I'm not saying the race really begins, but that's when the finish starts, basically. That's when it's going to start running down to the end. And although Curtins and Schlum have got 4.5 seconds, and they'll do well to lose that in the pit stops, if they don't get it right, that gap can quite easily shrink by half or more. So we'll wait and see for that in a few minutes' time. Lap, where are we going? Phil Varley, fastest lap of the race, 155.596, 155.6. That's what, a second faster than the guys up front. So you can see Varley's already on the back of Forsberg there in fourth. So that's what I'm saying. 4-second gap can quite easily disappear within a few laps if Varley's on that kind of pace. So keep an eye out for that as well.
It would not surprise me if Varley just, absolutely flew by. Just absolutely flew by them in the next few, I don't say few minutes, but I mean, he'll definitely get past Forsberg, and then it's just kind of a hunt, to the top two. I mean, it's possible with that pace that we just saw. I'm about a second lap faster, just over a second faster. So Varley is definitely, I think, one of the. As he goes for a move as well.
Pace down the straight. That is ridiculous. He's got DRS. That was mental.
Fucking ERS, DRS, everything. Oh my word, that was mental.
Oliver Curtin literally just went backwards there. Whether he had his handbrake on, I don't know, but Shablom just wow! I've never seen a Lexus move that fast in my life. That was just ridiculous. Nice move by Shablom, but I've got to say that was done halfway down the straight. I don't know how he's got that car set up, but he must have no wing on it at all because that was quick. So expect Shablom. In fact, Varley's already got past Forsberg there down the straight, so now he's up to third and chasing down Curtin and Shablom. So watch out for those two.
But see, I just wanted to say, I mean, screw what I was busy saying. Throw that in the toilet. Varley's passed. He's hunting. I mean, Curtin and Shablom, their job now is keep Varley off. And I'm like, pretty serious when I say that. That's what they're going to be trying to keep doing. Because if Varley keeps that pace, I'm sorry, Shablom, Curtin, you guys don't have a huge chance of winning this. But that's going to be interesting. He should get close near the pit stop phase. I'm looking at his current pace. So we'll see. Maybe he dives in a bit early, maybe a bit later. We'll see what Varley does. Quite excited for that.
I've got to be honest. Varley got past Forsberg down the straight fairly easily, but Forsberg really hanging on to him here, and he's going to have another go to get back past him down the straight. So let's hang on to the back of Forsberg and just see if he's got that ability to get past and the pace. See if he's got that Lexus button, the NOS.
The Lexus button. Yeah, we're gonna start calling it that. Oh, he does. The Audi is closing, but he isn't closing fast enough. He is closing, but not fast enough. I don't think.
VMAX 278, 279, 280. He's getting into 280s, but not enough to get past the McLaren. So, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the end of Forsberg's challenge, because if he can't get past Varley on the straight, he's going to be kind of stuck. Varley doesn't look like he's ever going to make a mistake here today. So conditions absolutely perfect. Track temperature now up to 32 degrees. So yeah, all I can see is Varley going forward. And fair play, if Forsberg can just hang on to the back of him and try and drag him up into the battle with Shablom and Curtin, that would be pretty epic.
Charger, I do want to ask, because Martin and I were having a bit of a talk before the race about this. Do you smell any rain out there? Do you think it smells of rain out there, or are we still safe for the near future?
I'd say it's safe for at least the next half an hour. That's all I know.
I think he's just trying to drum up drama. There's no way it's going to rain today. Look at that. The sun is cracking the flags out there.
Well, I mean, it's funny actually because the settings are set the same. The variables are set the same for every race. And we have seen rain. So I wouldn't... The settings are actually set the same for the 9 hours that we had at Nürburgring. And if you remember that, we got rain just right at the last hour or so, didn't we? So, yeah, rain's definitely on the cards.
I would want to say, D. Keller down in P29, he actually had a bit of a, I'm not quite sure, where he had to adjust his foot or something, but he just kind of came to a stop out of nowhere. He just, it was a bit earlier back, but he just kind of like came to a stop, let 7-8 cars past him, and now he's down into P29. Not quite sure what's
Godzilla going side by side. That's beautiful driving there from Godzilla. Really nice move. Really good driving from Godzilla. Literally side by side for 3 or 4 corners there. And now they're on the straight. Sharp and Binnersley behind them. Let's go and have a look at from Binnersley's Bentley like we've done before. In fact, they're pulling away as well. Look at that. The Lambo's gone. The BMW, the 3 of them are in a straight there. Binno.
Oh, could the BMW make a move on that AMG? He does. He goes for it. And the BMW is passed easily. Not even a challenge. Is he? Wait, is he passed? Yeah, he is passed. Yeah, he is passed. Comfortably passed. The BMW of what? R. Rigel. Beautiful. Oh, no. Ooh. Yeah, he gets passed.
Oh,
okay.
that was close.
Close, but he gets passed.
Rigel just closed the door there. Giving them absolutely no chance to come back at that. The AMG almost lost the front wing.
My scoreboard's still telling me that Mercedes is up front. Are we seeing something wrong, or is that just... It says that... Yeah, it says R. Rigel is behind Godzilla, but Godzilla is behind him.
Oh, and who's that gone wide there?
That's the P29 Lambo.
Just getting out of the way. Just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Good driving there, to be fair, then, if that's a blue flag manoeuvre. Well done.
Well done, Keller. Well done.
So, Rigel, Godzilla, renew rivalries again as they go through turn 1 and 2. Can Godzilla make some move down here like he was doing on the previous lap?
Rigel took him over, so let's see, can Godzilla get that position back, maybe? Goes into turn 1, turn 2, nothing to avail. That Lambo gets extremely close. Oh my word, that's a bit too close for comfort there. Sharp, come on, man. Give us some space. Okay, onto the straight. Let's see if that BMW can pull out some straight line speed or if it's old AMG. I told you that AMG looks menacing from behind. Oh, it does.
Here they go. They're trying to break the toe. Rigel moves to the left of the track. He'll move over right now. Godzilla will follow him all the way down the straight, and it's about picking a line to brake on. Here goes the AMG. Pulls up to the inside. And as soon as he gets out the slipstream, look at that. It just hits a wall of air.
Oh, into the brakes. Oh, they touch. They touch. They're both off.
Oh, my goodness me. And they've all gone wide behind. Oh, he's taken Binnersley out as well. Oh, my goodness. Rigel and Godzilla touch spin. Binnersley, unfortunately, again, the unwitting victim there. And all
Poor
3 of them.
Man. Poor Binnersley.
I don't know what to say about that. It was just, I mean, you could see that happening a couple of laps ago, but they were driving so immaculately, side by side. You thought it great. And then down the straight, the AMG just couldn't get enough of an overlap on the BMW as soon as it pulled out of the slipstream. And then as they went round Cygnus, front wing touched rear wing, and boof, there they both went. Like,
as if that wasn't enough, Binnersley is looking to go onto this Merc, saying, I don't care what you just did, I'm going to go for it, and easily makes it past.
I wonder if he's let him through there, I think.
Oh, yeah, that could be. That could be.
I think Rigel's done, not Rigel, sorry, I think Godzilla's done, I'm not sure if it was Godzilla's fault, I don't know, I think it was just, I'm not saying it's a racing incident, but Godzilla obviously taking the pain of that rather than getting a penalty and losing points in the championship. Much easier just to give the places back and work that way. So there they go, those 3. Poor old Rick Binnersley finds himself now down in 19th place. Not had much luck this race so far, has been out, but we'll wait and see what happens. Anyway, back up front, Shablon, Curtin, Varley, Plate. The gap between Varley and Curtin now 2.3.
Oh, Varley's
So
getting
Varley
close.
closing it down. Just 5 minutes, well, 2.5 minutes to go really until the pit stops start, and they've got 5 minutes, the field, to get their pit stops done. So when that starts happening, Jay and I will just go off and make a cup of tea because it's impossible to commentate when everyone's in and out of the pits. And we'll let it all shake out, and then we'll see what happens about 40 minutes to go. But as it is, Shablon leads from Curtin, Varley in third, Plate in fourth, Book check up to fifth now, so he's really making that Bentley sing. Forsberg's dropped down to sixth. Newcomer, he's his next challenger in seventh, Madley in eighth, Peck in ninth, Simcox 10th, Debug still in 11th, Kruger 12th, Sharp, Door, Dale Green, Wood, Lemke, Al, Binnersley, Rigel and Godzilla, Varga, Flack. Who else we got down there? Kevin Shepherd, John D's up 25th, Dan Barnett 26. Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself. Remember, finished second, Kyle Harvey last time out, now 26th. So Dan Barnett, at least he'll get a decent starting grid stop for the next race, because this is really going to hurt his championship. Mikko Sky down there in 27th, Matt Shablon 28th, Dale Kelleher 29th, Pinpoint down in 30th, and we've already heard from Charger. His car undrivable with no throttle response, so unfortunately Charger out of the race.
Charger, man. Charger, you had such a good start as well. I think he's still in the voice chat. But yeah, Charger, he had such a good start, man. It looked so promising. It looked so promising, Martin, and then it just wasn't, you know?
Yeah, plenty of throttle off the line. He was down to T1 before anybody else could even blink. It was a great start.
I'm not actually sure if I jumped the lights, but I don't think you can.
No, you didn't. You didn't at all. No, you didn't at all. You didn't jump at all. I think you just got an incredibly good start.
Pit window is now open, so let's see what happens here. Shablon, is he going to go through for one more lap? You can probably get one more. I don't think you want to risk two. You probably get one more lap in before he has to come in. But while he's got a nice clear track ahead of him, if it was me, I'd be staying out for another lap just to get as much free air as I could.
And he
that's
does.
Exactly what he does. Curtin follows him through, and so does Varley in the background. I imagine Plate will do the same while the track's still free.
But see, I don't know. If I was Varley, going for a stop there might have worked. I mean, if Varley stopped there and just absolutely had a banger of an outlap and the laps after that, he could have made something of that. But I mean, hey, all in competition. Let's see what they do.
I think the thing is as well, because as they come into the pits, remember the pressures on the tyres will get reset back to the start, so I'll have to get them back up to pressure. So
True.
The longer you can wring this bit out, the better it will be for you, because it'd be great to do a nice outlap on fresh tyres, but remember they don't get fresh tyres on the same set of tyres, but as well as having wear on them, they get repressured down again, so they'll lose a couple of PSI, so the outlap won't be a banging outlap either. So they really want to push this current stint as long as they can.
Okay, so theoretically, I've done the math. Theoretically, Sosblom could do another lap after this and then pit at the end of that lap, but that's a theory. I think
the problem with that strategy is you're exactly right. He can get one more lap in, but if he has an instant on that lap and spins, which fingers crossed he doesn't do that. But if he had an incident and he doesn't make the pits for the next lap, he gets disqualified. And you don't want to lose a race like that just for trying to eke out a lap or two on the pit stops. He will come in, I'm pretty sure, on this time round. I'm sure Curtin, Varley and Plate will follow him in him as well. We'll see those that come through.
Well, yeah, let's see if he dives in. But yeah, he should. Yeah, logically, as you're saying, he could push it out, but I think logically, it's just get it in, get it done. It's easy. Does he go in?
He's not. He's come through for another lap. He's going to risk it.
They're all free. All three of them. Do they know the pit window's open? Do they notice
the first three go through? Fourth place, Plate pops into the pits. Book check behind him as well. Better part of Valor there, also dropping into the pits. So we'll see where they come out. Shablon, Curtin and Varley are going around for one more.
This is going to be
they
tight.
will have to be in this lap. So we shall keep an eye on these, and we'll also keep an eye on Plate and Book check as well. Peck's gone through on this lap as well, as has Simcox. And in fact, Simcox has dabbed into the pits now. I just missed that. He's just gone in. Kruger's gone in. And then the time starts getting a little bit desperate if you want to do another lap. So I should imagine from door down, you'll see the little P symbol start to come up like a fruit machine as they all bob into the pits. But the first 5, they're through, and they'll be carrying on to this lap till the end of this one.
But look at how much Varley and Curtin have both been catching Sojblom. I mean, they've been... that gap was 1.5 and 1.7, and now both gaps have gone down to a second each. That is... Sojblom needs to get in. That's all I'm going to say.
When you consider how quickly Shablon passed that Honda down the straight, he hasn't managed to pull away at all, has he? He's just kept within a second or so of Curtin, and Varley on his pace as well. He's just keeping them honest until the pit stop session. All the guys behind are out. Plate has come out ahead of Bookcheck, so they're currently 6th and 7th. But have stopped. These 3 here yet to stop, but they'll be in this lap, and then we'll see where they feed into the pack if they do indeed. They should come out ahead, as I say. They're leading the race currently, and if they get their stop done on their marks, that's exactly where they'll come back out. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, ready to go. Final corner. Shablom should drop in here.
Dip in, Shablom. Oh, there he is. Whew,
so
scared me.
Shablom's in, and he should be followed by Curtin and Vi. Look at that bang on his bumper there. All 3 of them right through. Speed limit on as they come down the pit lanes, and Shablom's in the pit. So as he comes in, Varley, Madley, I think as well. Has he stopped at all? No, there comes Madley into the pits as well. Peck will come in shortly after, and then Bookcheck will be your next man coming through. So here's Bookcheck going through the back part of the circuit. He's finding some pace here. But meanwhile, Shablom, Curtin, Varley, Madley and Peck currently being serviced as Bookcheck desperately tries to get round.
Sojblom and Varley now coming out. Varley might actually have a bit of a head start on him.
Wow, they're side by side going down there. I think he has. I think Varley's got.
Yeah, he's got the jump. He has got the jump. Look at that. Oh my word.
In there, wow. Anyway, you're right. Varley's great stop there. He's managed to jump. Shablom in the pits there. Let's see how that Lexus deals with the McLaren down the straight, shall we? See if he's still got that button working.
No, that McLaren. We've seen some miracles out of him, man. I mean, if he can pull I'm not quite sure. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. But I have trust. And Bushek also coming up. We see
Did Curtin drop into the pits? He's shown his style. Yeah, it's gone green. Yes, hasn't he? Actually, Curtin got a fantastic pit stop. He's away and down the straight.
Word. It's 8 seconds. 8 seconds on Varley Curtin has.
How much fuel did Curtin not put in there? How has he managed to pull 8 seconds on Varley? I think the gap was 2 seconds, was it? Or a second?
Then what did we miss?
I'm not sure. There's some fueling issue gone on there. Either he's not put enough fuel in, or he was fueled very heavy at the start. But Curtin's managed to pull a huge lead at the pit stops. That Lexus pulled no gap on the McLaren. I didn't pull much of it back at all. So after the pit stop phase. Yeah, exactly. I've lost my teeth now after watching that. So Curtin leads from Varley 7.7 seconds. Shablom, who you're on board with here in third, was leading as he came into the pits. Now finds himself back in third. Probably wonder what the hell's happened. But Bookcheck right behind him as well, pushing him for fourth. Madley's in fifth. Plate's sixth. Forsberg's seventh. Newcomer up to eighth. Simcox, Peck's dropped down to 10th in that exchange. Kruger 11th. Sharp 12th. Dorr 13th. Then Lemke, Wood, Al, Dale Green, Rigel down to 18th. Rigel up to 18th. Remember, we had that incident with Binnersley and Godzilla earlier, but he's jumped those two in the pits. Varga and Debug 19th and 20th. Then Binnersley and Godzilla. Flax made his way up to 23rd. John D 24th. Shepherd's 25th. Dan Barnett's down in 26th. Sky, Shablom, Mats, that is, Dale Kelleher, Pinpoint, and obviously Charger out of the race. So
Martin, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Can we
right,
look at that Lexus and that Bentley real quick? P3 and P4 just chasing. I mean, I've had quite a bit of a look at it. I am astonished. That Bentley has been on his ass, and I mean, if he doesn't overtake him here, I would be surprised.
Must have him. Must have him. They're side by side. You can see the Lexus down the right hand side. They come very close.
Lexus, push the button. Push the Lexus button. Oh, has he pushed it? I think he. It looks like he's pushed it at this point.
He's just found 6th gear. Look at that. There goes the Lexus.
There you go. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That is mental, the pace that Lexus has down that straight. Bookcheck has to fall in behind. The Bentley with that whatever massive engine lump he's got in it just wasn't enough to keep up with the Lexus. He's close coming through here. Can he duck down the inside? No.
Come on. There Bookcheck goes. Into the inside, down into the inside.
What a move. What a move.
But see, that Lexus doesn't give up. We've seen that, Martin. That Lexus does not give up. It will not give up.
Well, you've got to say, with a slip, if he can keep close to Bookcheck on this lap and get close down the straight, he had pace. He had the pace to Bentley down the straight without the slipstream. So if he can get in behind that huge rear wing of the Bentley, there's no reason why he can't just dispatch the Bentley at the end of the straight again. But he's got to obviously get the turn that Cygnus done as well to keep the position. But he really needs to hang on to the back of Bookcheck. But with Bookcheck's place, I'm not really sure that's going to happen. But Shablon will try, I'm sure. Curtin's still 7 seconds ahead in front. Varley's pulled back half a second. But the gap's still 7 seconds. Has Curtin got enough fuel to do the race? That will be the question.
I hope he has. It's absolutely, honestly, some stunning racing. Let's have a look at the back of the grid. Oh, no! Keller! Oh, poor Keller. He's just standing there. Keller is currently Keller P29. He is quite literally just standing at one of the off-run areas.
He's had enough, and that's it.
He's had enough. That's his race. Someone come get him. Bring him some tea. He's done.
Here's the Godzilla and Binners battle. That's Debug. Remember Debug at the start of the race? He's down in 20th now, unfortunately. So Debug right down there.
Debug, we loved you, man.
Yeah, he had a good show at the front. Had his TV time, but now finds himself down in 20th. Godzilla pushing him for that place. Fair play. Dale Green's made himself up to 17th. There he is, being chased down by Rigel. So that's good for them. Kruger, you're saying P11 in the McLaren.
11th and 12. I think we might see a bit of action between them. That Hurricane see amazing straight line performance. You might have a Lexus button as well. But yeah, those two definitely gonna try and duke it out to get in front of one another and get Peck, hopefully, to secure a top 10. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully it works out for one of them at least.
Yeah, Shablon couldn't get close to Bookcheck down the straight. They're still half a second apart, so I've got a feeling that Shablon's lost that place permanently now to Bookcheck as he tries to pull it back on Varley.
You know what Keller was doing? Keller was watching. He was watching the race. Keller just had a live seat. He wasn't just sitting there. He had a live seat, Martin. He was watching them go past. He was closer than any of
It's an expensive seat.
Yeah, a few grand a year for that seat. But
yeah, how much is a Hurricane? About what, 220,000 quid? It's an expensive seat.
That's about the team, eh? That's about the team. But I can't go on to Keller anymore, so I don't know whether he's been DQ'd.
He must have left the server, I'm guessing, and parked up. Real shame, because as much as people give Paul Ricard a bit of a bad press, I actually really enjoy driving it. It's not I wouldn't say a particularly difficult circuit. It's one of those ones you do have to get your lines right, but if you can get that right, it is quite an enjoyable drive around here, and it's a hard race, and 90 minutes straight really gives him a break. So if Keller has dropped out for whatever reason, that is a shame, because again, it's quite actually difficult to get damage here unless you hit another car, because the barriers are so far away from anything. Struggle to hit anything.
Oh no.
Here goes Kruger.
Martin, I keep losing your connect.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what it is, but I keep losing your voice now and then. So if I don't respond,
that's good. I just hope it's coming through on the stream, mate. If that's not working, so we'll wait and see.
We'll see.
Anyway, Kruger, Sharp just behind him, and David Daw just behind him. 11th, 12th, and 13th. Varley's pulled another half-second back on Curtin now. That's gap's down to 6.5. Book check's
speed of
broken.
few minutes.
Shablon, that's 1.5. A big gap back then to Mo Plate there in 5th. So, in fact, let's go have a look at Plate and Madley. They're going to challenge over 5th and 6th. Not really many close battles on lap. You saw Kruger and Sharp in the McLaren and the Lambo. They're pretty close. Rigel and Dale Green are having a battle further back. There is Rigel.
Keller got a drive-through penalty. I don't think he's in the session anymore. Do not think he's in the session anymore. Oh, Godzilla and Debug. Oh my word, Godzilla and Debug going at it. Down in 20th, 21 and 22.
Oh yeah, I can just see them in the background there from the Dale Green Rigel battle. They're just going to go through the straight here. Let's go and have a look at Debug as well as they come around the final corner.
Come on. Come on, Debug. Keep the position. Come on, Debug.
Godzilla really pushing him here. And come down towards turn 1. A couple of guys in the pitch, as you can see there. So obviously something's happened between somebody there.
Oh, is Godzilla going? Yes, go! Godzilla goes for the space. Debug left it wide open. Come on, Debug. You have to break a bit later than that, man. And now he's passed. Now he's passed. Another battle won, another battle lost.
I've got to be honest, I think Godzilla must have done a deal there because Debug gave him more room than it. Oh, Bino's getting in close to Debug as well there through the corner. Can he get that one done?
I think he wants to.
Rick Binnersley really pushing as he tries to make up for all the buck he's had in this race so far.
Honestly, Binnersley, he just deserves. I don't know. He deserves the bad luck of the Euro award at this point because everything, man, is just been through so much. He gets tapped when it isn't his fault. He gets yeeted. Poor guy, man, poor guy.
So Godzilla, you can see, he's broken Debug. That's a second already down the straight. The Ferrari desperately trying to slay in the slipstream, but he's going to struggle to do that. You can see Binnersley, that Bentley struggling down the straight as well. You think they'd have some pace here, but it seems we saw the Lexus earlier seem to outpace the Bentley as well. So maybe they've just got some wing on that to get it to rotate maybe through this part of the circuit, but certainly no pace for Binnersley down the straight there. He's going to stay back down in 22nd.
Martin, I've got you a
battle. What you seeing, man?
Rigel and
Dale Green, yeah.
Dahlgren, yeah. They're decent. Not really battling it out, but Rigel is, he's there. He's, looking. He's looking. He's, sending inquiries. May I go down your inside, please? That just sounded weird. I do apologize to everyone watching.
Rigel, can he get that BMW on the inside into turn 1? He's going to have a look.
Look how major that wing is on the BMW. That's a major wing, that.
To be fair, Dale Green and Rigel have been racing pretty hard here. Remember, Dale Green was up in the top 10 as well and then struck down the field after an instant early in the race. So Rigel and Dale Green have got pace, but just shows the strength of the field. These guys battling for 17th and 18th. And still the guys in front are, if not pulling away, they're not getting any closer by any speed at all. So Rigel, although he's got the pace, currently sitting 6th in the championship. Remember, won last time out at Kyalami here. So that's the strength of the field these guys are battling against.
I do need to watch that Kyalami race. I do honestly need to watch that because
I don't want to forget it. I never want to watch it again. I love Kyalami as well. I think that was the most depressing part of it. As I loved driving around Kyalami, but well, here we go. Is Rigel going to have a look at Dale Green here? Let's have a look. Come on, cameraman.
No, he doesn't have enough. No, there isn't enough speed. That BMW doesn't have enough speed. He doesn't. That BMW doesn't have enough speed. Martin, you know what we'll do? We'll take one of the other tracks. So we'll take a schedule and just take one of the tracks out and just put Kyalami in again.
With sun. I don't want rain there either. Because I don't know what I did with that AMG, but I could not get it. I mean, it was great driving, and all of a sudden it would just disappear. And what happened there? And I'll be looking at a tyre wall, and I'm thinking, a bit like in the practice sessions with Verstappen this week when he found himself in the barrier there and said, I just didn't know what happened. That was exactly the same as me at Kyalami. I'd be driving around and not even on the curb, and it just seemed to get away from me and end up in the wall, and then you get loads of damage, and it's just a pain from there.
You know, the funniest thing about that Verstappen thing was, and it was an article posted on the F1, you know, on their website, and they say when Verstappen was asked, oh, is that being able? No, it isn't. Okay, and it says when Verstappen was asked about about the crash, he quote unquote shrugged his shoulders and said it was nothing. I'm sorry, but like Verstappen at this point, you're just on the next level, man. You're just on a next level. Like, if you can just yeet yourself into a barrier or into a wall, and you're just like, it's nothing.
I did like the way he had to pull the Toyota logo straight off the back of his Honda car.
That was so funny. That was the first thing he did as well. Is he stepped out, took the logo off, and just started walking. It was so good.
I do wonder if somebody in Japan had said, "Get whatever you do. First thing you do to get that car, get rid of that sign off the back of your car."
Word. I do want to say, bit of a my best wishes to Lando after today's quali. That was a big accident. I hope he can race tomorrow. But yeah, honestly, Lando, if you somehow see or hear this, big ups to you, man. Big ups to you.
Man. He had so much confidence in that car. I just don't think he ever thought it would get away from him today. He was on such good pace, and then unfortunately, when it did get away from him, it really slapped him around the face, didn't it? So yeah, hope he's all right, because that was a big accident, and he was showing a lot of pace here today. But anyway, that's for another day. Where are we? Oliver Curtin, Phil Varley, 4.3 now, 27 minutes to go. Varley is going to catch him at this pace. He's tracking Bookcheck as well. Bookcheck just a second and a half behind him. So about 10 minutes or so, this is going to get really, really interesting. They have completely dropped Shablom now. He's 5.6 behind their plate as well. He's already 5 seconds behind Shablom. So the top three are really going to fight it out in the last quarter of an hour of this race. But if you're going to go and make a cup of tea, now's the time to do it, because it will start getting interesting in about 5 or 6 minutes. Plates in 5th, Madley 6th, Forsberg hanging on in 7th. He's done a good race as old Jazz Forsberg.
He is. He has. Honestly, we haven't talked a lot about Newcomer. He's kind of, I'm not quite sure if we talked about him, but he's been doing extremely well as well. And Newcomer, really well. He's been doing good. Haven't seen a lot of him. He's kind of been in a background, just like a background character. But yeah, extremely well racing from him as well. His Lexus counterpart, then I assume, is Shoblom. Am I correct, Martin, if I say that?
I don't think there's team championship. I think this is just single driver champ. I should know that, shouldn't I, really, being the commentator? But I'm pretty sure this is just a single drivers single drivers championship. There's no team element in this. So
they should sort of, it looks like they're teammates, and that confuses me. Wow. That's...
Peck really putting Simcox under pressure. Simcox was actually putting Newcomer under pressure a little while ago. That's why we jumped to that battle, because you were talking about him. But now he's fallen back into the hands of Peck's Ferrari there. Peck's going to go around and take a... Oh, I thought he was going to cut the inside there, but the Aston Martin very quick out that final corner, and down the straight it goes. Peck's going to tuck in. I don't think he's going to have enough pace to get up the inside into turn 1. He doesn't. You can see the McLaren behind them of Kruger and Sharp in the Lambo as well. David Dawes dropped 10 seconds off the back of Sharp, so I don't know what's happened there. Peck's going to look up the outsole. That got close for a second. Is he going to still look? No, he's not. Decides to survive for another corner, but he will have the drive down the straight if he can stay this close.
But to be quite fair, Martin, as we said, that Aston, it is just... It's honestly another breed. It's an amazing car, and it's just good at everything, and extremely reliable as well. You know, and you can really put your trust in it. So I mean, that's definitely how Simcox has been driving that thing. Definitely the right car for him. I mean, you know, not a lot of people have been able to challenge him. He just knows how to drive that thing. Amazing driving by Simcox.
Peck's picked up the toe. Is he going to get there in time?
No,
Here goes the Ferrari. 285, 286, 287. No, you could actually hit the limiter there, I think. Dips back in. That was close. Whoa, on the brakes from Peck, but manages to keep it in position. So we'll live to fight into turn 1 with Simcox again. Well, that was close. You can see behind the McLaren of Kruger and Sharp suddenly getting interested as these two fight it out. It should turn into a four-way battle as I think newcomers managed to now get away from these guys while they're fighting. Curtin, Varley, keep an eye on that. Gaps down to under 4 seconds now, 3.9. And Bookcheck just a second behind Varley. So if your tea hasn't brewed yet, hurry up, squeeze your tea bag because it's going to get interesting very soon.
Oh
Shablon fourth,
really
Plate fifth.
So
That's it. That's a proper English thing. Sorry, the tea bag. You probably have a coffee, continental coffee, you posh people, but the rest of us have tea.
Listen, the next 20 minutes of this race, even maybe the 15 minutes, it's going to be a three-way tie for P1 and P2. And P3, of course, but like, we have that NSX of Curtin, the McLaren of Varley, and then the Bentley of Blutcheck. I still don't know how to say that. I am so sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I do have a question though, Martin.
Go on.
Do we conduct post-race interviews, or do we just go ask the drivers personal questions?
Do you know what? When you do post-race, it's just the winning driver showing off, and it just gets boring, doesn't it? Let's hope they drop in and say hello. It'd be great to see them. But yeah, there's nothing worse than a driver that's just won a race. They just want to talk about themselves and how great they are. Gets very dull.
Charger, we need a favor.
Maybe Charger can conduct the interviews.
Seriously, I think that could be quite cool, if we could select, because I mean, there are definitely a few drivers I think we both agree on that we would love to talk to.
To be fair, a lot of the drivers are pretty shy, so some of them do like to talk, and others just prefer to bask in their own glory. So I wouldn't ever drag them into the commentary box to talk to them. But if they do want to talk to us, that'd be great. We'll have a good conversation with them. I'd love to know.
I'll drag the top three, and it's not a problem. They will talk, those top three.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
But see, that's the problem. We don't know if we want them to talk. We don't know if they want them to.
No, they're usually buzzing after a race. They don't mind talking.
I'd love to speak to Shablon and find out what engine he's got in that Lexus, because it isn't a Lexus engine, that's for sure. There's something else in the back of that, in the front of that rather, because the pace he had, I still can't get over that. I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight in bed.
That's how it felt for me, honestly. It's just like I was, I was missing a gear.
May I just say, what happened with Mats Sjorsblom? What happened with him? Can we just right behind at P28? He's the back of the grid. What happened to that poor guy, man? I don't even want to know. He's just kind of fallen away. We haven't seen much of his blue and yellow Aston this race. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. As P1 is closing on him. Okay. Wow. That's amazing.
All right, let's have a look at him. Just to give him a bit of TV time. Mats, there you go. Yeah. You're about to be lapped again.
You're about to be lapped. Oh, Kirsten goes for a move, and he gets done easily. Okay,
but fair play. Good blue flag work. And, yeah, there we go. Matt Shablon down there in 28. And still going, to be fair. Just more than we
Matt, we need you to keep off Farley. Keep him off. We need you. Oh, wow.
Up front, though. There's your man, Oliver Curtin. Well, if you look back in the distance, 3.5 seconds behind him, Phil Varley in that purple and gold McLaren, 3.5 seconds. They're not even on they're not just on the same straight anymore. They're literally on the same grid now. Curtin really being hunted down now. Varley 3 seconds the gap. Bookcheck 4 seconds behind Curtin. So, like I said quarter of an hour it'll start kicking off. 5 minutes, I think that's when it's going to start getting interesting. Unless Curtin can find a little bit more pace here and just make that 3 seconds stretch out to the end of the race. We've got about, 12 laps to go? Let's just see if he can keep that win, because it would be a fantastic drive if he can do this, Curtin. I don't know what he did in the pits, because it was an amazing pit stop to come out 7 seconds ahead of everybody, but we'll have to see. Perhaps the NSX is just particularly fuel efficient, who knows, but Curtin 3 seconds, Varley and Bookcheck, so we'll keep an eye on that. Further down the field, let's go and find the Simcox Kruger battle again, because that was pretty close. Where are we? There we go. Simcox in 10th.
Sorry, I just had to send you a message, Martin. It's just a note for myself. Nothing major. You can read it if you want. It's just like notes. So
What have you said?
don't worry, you can read it later.
Ah, right. Okay, got you, man.
Okay. Those are just a few that I made like a short list of.
Yeah, for the people who are watching the stream, we're just trying to work out where we're going out for dinner afterwards. That's all. But
yeah,
nothing
bunch of good
interesting.
restaurants, you know.
Mine
Yeah,
invited. Am I the third wheel?
Well, as long as you're not driving, so we're not going to go with you.
Yeah,
We need the RAC, won't we?
I could chauffeur you, couldn't I?
We've got it booked for tonight, mate.
I have got a Bentley and it's repaired.
I don't know if I want that Bentley anymore, man. You know, I'm just scared. You know, when we go away, when we start, it'll have an amazing speed, and then halfway through, it'll just start losing power. You know, extremely. Just out of history. I do apologize.
So Peck, Simcox, Kruger, and Sharp. These 4 cars. These are the 4 closest on the track at the moment. All the other cars pretty much spread out. Varley's got it down to 2.8 now. I'll keep giving you time checks. It'll get boring, I know, but when it starts getting interesting, I'll let you know.
Martin, I think while we have Charger here, Charger, can you please describe to us that position? What Curtin is in? The actual leader kind of is catching up with him, only 2 seconds away. What's that feeling like as a racer?
Like Charger would know. God.
Yeah. Okay. I'm more.
I'm joking.
Like, as a racer,
well, I was at the front. I was at the front tonight, and believe me, it's scary. But yeah, I'm not normally in that position. So me personally, I hate being in front of people.
There's nothing worse than being hunted down. Is the worst feeling when you lose. You just see the seconds ticking away. Like, oh no, they're coming for me. They're coming for me.
And it makes it worse because you keep looking in the rear view as soon as you get a glimpse of them, and it just takes your focus away. You just need to ignore it, really, if you can. I can't do that. Some people can.
But see, does Curtin have the mental strength to do that?
Yes.
Does
he does. Yeah, he does. He's good. Ali's a good driver.
I mean, to be quite fair, Martin, and I think you've seen this as well, is Curtin, although he has lost time against Varley, right, as anyone would, Curtin has stayed really consistent. I mean, hasn't had a spin, hasn't had any major accidents. He's been extremely consistent. So I'm kind of in a boat with Charger. I have to say that, I think he definitely has the mental strength to do it. We just need to see if he has the pace of it.
Well, we'll see. Varley's just put in the fastest lap of the race, 1:55.5 in the last rotation. So Varley is really on it. But to quote the great man, catching is one thing, but getting past is something else. So we'll have to see. Obviously, down the end of the straight, once Varley can get in that slipstream, that is his main opportunity. But the gap now under 2 seconds. He's actually Varley with that quickest lap there. He's actually put a little bit of a gap on book check there. But those top 3 now are covered by just under 3 seconds, or just over 3 seconds rather. So that's my time was spot on. Look at that, 16 minutes. Another minute, it's going to get really interesting. So let's go for the last quarter of an hour of the race. I think that's the battle we really want to concentrate on: is Curtin, Varley, and book check. As Curtin starts to get hauled in. In fact, well, let's give you an idea. Let's go and find Phil Varley and see if he can see, or how far he can see Curtin in his front view. There we go. There is the battle. Look at that. That is the battle for the lead right there. Curtin.
That's amazing.
15 minutes to go. I haven't got my calculator out, but that's probably going to be about 8 laps, I reckon.
Yeah, around. Yeah, you're right on. Yeah, it'll be 8 laps because rounding up. But I do want to say something, if I'm allowed to, of course.
Honestly, what you're going to say.
Whatever happens today with these results, I do want to just congratulate, I think, the top 5, right? I mean, Curtin, Varley, Buschek, Sosblom, Plate. To be quite fair, Martin, what a drive.
I would even go down as far as newcomer, to be fair. Forsberg's done nothing wrong today. Newcomer's been chasing him. Obviously, the guys up front have got the pace of those guys, so that's why. But I think as a, they're not driver of the day material by any stretch of the imagination. But people like Forsberg and Newcomer have been really consistent today, and putting some really
that was
good
going to be my
performances.
next question. Is they've all had a great race, but who's your driver of the day today, Martin?
Me.
Okay,
he beat me to it.
Martin, who's your driver of the day today who's driven further than 3 laps?
I've got to be honest, mate. With 14 minutes to go, I can't answer that. If Varley can get past Curtin here, I'd have to put it with Phil Varley because the pace he's had in this second phase of the race has been immense. Bookcheck is no slouch by any stretch of imagination, but he's kept Bookcheck behind him a second and a half. He's hauled Curtin in. Remember, when they came out of the pits after the pit stops, Curtin had 7.7 second lead. That's now down to a cigarette paper and a knife and fork, and you can see that there. And there's every chance that Varley's going to get right on the back of Curtin within the next 5 minutes. And when he does that, if he can get past Curtin, Curtin's driven fantastically. But I've got to say, if Varley's on this sort of pace, he's my potential driver of the day. Let's put it that way.
Okay, Charger, can I get your perspective on driver of the day?
Me.
No, enough said. Yeah, Martin, I do have to agree. Honestly, though, Martin, my only thing is, Varley has had an amazing race. He's done miracles, right? But my thing is, as well, I have to kind of give it to Curtin. Overtaking is one thing, but being as consistent and Kirsten has been, I mean, if you look at his lap times, it's just consistent, So I'm kind of, still having to, I'm still kind of on that, fence of, is consistency or overtaking better? Consistency or overall pace. I'm kind of still on that fence. But yeah, definitely. Curtin and Varley, I think, my top 2 driver of the, those are the top 2 contenders. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can put on a good show for us. I think, Martin, you know what?
All three of them are in the same camera shot now. That's how close it is. Under 3 seconds between the 3 of them. So, yeah,
that's amazing. Martin, I think once they get close, you're gonna narrate it. Okay, I'm just gonna let you narrate. I'm gonna zip it, and you're just gonna narrate it. That's your honor.
Okay, all right. Before we do that, as it's just about to get interesting, if you've liked the stream so far, it's admin time. Hit the thumbs up button on the thing below. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, why not get involved? And if you hit the little notification bell that's next to it, every time we go live, you will get a little bell to say, "Hey, you got nothing to do on a Saturday night. Come and watch this." So yeah, get involved. Remember, the most important thing, like the video, it really helps us out.
And may I say,
yeah, go on.
If you guys think I wasn't too bad of a commentator so far, please do just let them know in the comments, otherwise I'm gonna get fired after my first day job. So if you guys could just put in a short comment saying, yeah, Jay was decent, that's all I need.
Jay, mate, you've been fantastic. You smell a bit, but you've been fantastic. The commentary box is a bit sweaty today, but apart from that, you're all good. There you go. Look at that. Varley has now got it to within, well, that distance there. You can see how close that is. That's how close they are going to be. 10 minutes to go. I'm just going to shut up for a minute and just let you watch it.
Let them hear this. Let them hear the engine sounds.
I don't have control over that. I don't think, unfortunately. That comes off the server. I don't have that that input. I'm not that important.
Oh my word!
They haven't given me that control button.
Actually, is there any way you could get on that McLaren's hood? Because that thing does sound amazing. Is there any way you could?
I can get on. Can we get on board with him? We can actually get on board.
Yeah.
Let's find a decent on-board shot. That's not a decent on-board shot. Where's the? There's the cockpit cam. Let's try that one. There we go.
Try and get a shot if you can from the front of the engine. It really.
God, you don't want much, do you? Jesus.
Just trust me, okay? I think it's F1. Yeah.
How's that?
Listen to that. Viewers are gonna give you guys till the end of this. Well, not the end of this lap. We'll give you guys a bit here just to listen to this and just see how the gap's closing.
So we need that little audio up button in the corner, isn't it? Be proper broadcasters.
It's an amazing sound, isn't it? Fuck.
I do love driving the McLaren, I have to say. Curtin, Varley, book check, 2 seconds now covering all 3.
I think the Bentley also has a menacing sound. The NSX is extremely quiet, I can tell you that. But the Bentley, also menacing sound.
It's pretty
Amazing.
quiet at the moment, sitting in the pits.
Okay, not that Bentley. I'm talking about the one that's in P3, the one that's actually racing. That one.
Curtin, Varley, book check are your top 3. They are going to be your race winners between all 3 of them. Eric Chablon back there in 4th, quite a way back now, following that early battle earlier on. Mo Plates there in 5th, Madley 6th, Forsberg driven really well in 7th, has this newcomer in 8th. Petter Peck really chasing down newcomer now in 9th. He's got Simcox right behind him, so those 3 really close. I hope you don't mind us staying with this battle for the lead though, as one of the back markers pulls off the circuit there just to give these 3 all the room they need. Very nice driving there.
Thank you to that back marker.
Yeah, indeed. Peck, Simcox, bit back gap to Kruger then, 3 seconds back there. Big gap back to Dorr, who's just lost pace in the second half of the race there. He's in 12th. Lemke's 13th. Nigel Wood chasing Lemke down in 14th. Sharp's dropped a few places there in 15th. Just watching Varley's McLaren close the gap on the NSX down the straight. That's getting closer as we speak. Half a second now. Whoa. Oliver Curtin, how big are your underpants, my friend?
Okay, so I'm gonna keep my mouth. I'm not gonna say anything. Martin,
yeah,
you do the honors. This is
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. So Curtin will really be clenching his cheeks here because Varley has driven an immaculate second half of this race, and now finds himself right on the tail of the leader, and just behind them you can see Bookcheck there just waiting to pick up some pieces should any break off the battle for first. That Bentley has been around or roundabouts all race, or all second part of the race really, as he's made his way up through the field, and he's just waiting to pick up. But the front 2, Curtin and Varley, just coming down here into turn 1. Curtin's defensive on the inside, pulls back into the braking area for turn 1. Varley closes right up under the brakes. Through turn 2 they go, and Varley will look to get some kind of drive out of 2 down the hill as they go to 3. He's going to look outside, inside. Brakes early though. Lets Curtin have the corner, hoping Curtin will go deep. Curtin doesn't know. He's wise to that move. And Chablon there just closing up under the braking as well. 1, 2, 3 you're watching here. Curtin, Varley, book check. So they're going to go onto the straight. Let's see if we can go on board with Varley and just see if he can close that gap. Come on, give me the camera. It won't give me the camera. Give me the dash cam, come on. There we go. Varley closes right up on Curtin. What's going to happen? Which way, left or right? Choose now. Which way are you going to go? He's going to go right. He's going to go to the inside. But he's going to have to drop back in behind Curtin. Just didn't have the overlap. Curtin holds it for another lap. 6 minutes to go. 3 more laps after this. Oh no! Curtin hangs it around the outside. Varley's come at the inside. Oh wow, but Curtin's going to have the inside for this corner. Can he keep it tight? He's going to make Varley go right round the outside, but Varley will have the inside for the next part of the circuit. Oh, comes off the curb. Curtin keeps it side by side. Come on, Oliver, keep it up the inside. And they're going to go side by side through the final corner. It's going to be really tight for Curtin to get an angle here. And I think Varley's through. He is. That's a great move by Varley. Took him 4 or 5 corners to do it, but Varley's through. Takes the lead with just 5 minutes to go. Varley from Curtin. Bookcheck now looking to get past Curtin to take the battle to Varley. He doesn't want Varley getting away here. And closes right up on the brake in there, Chablon. Jesus Christ, Bookcheck. And Varley's now going to try and push this as much as he can to try and build a gap. He doesn't want Bookcheck to come back at him. But that's a great move from Varley. Absolutely fantastic. Oliver Curtin, I feel so sorry for him. He's driven so well in his second phase of the race. And he absolutely nailed his pit stop. the strategy was perfect. It was just 5 minutes too late. And Varley makes his way onto the straight. Curtin will do what he can to get onto the back of him. The one I want to look at though is book check. Let's go and see if he can close. Remember that Bentley hasn't been showing a lot of speed today. We'll see if it's got the speed of the NSX though. See if it can get into its toe. You can just see, look, the one we looked at earlier was topping out at 290. The Bentley's not even getting over 280 as they come to the end of the straight. That's the difference, and that's where the overtakes are made. Just couldn't pull the speed. So unless book check can make the same move that Varley did up the inside here, Varley's going to be away. Wow. Distinctive sound of the Bentley. All three of them, but also driven absolutely superbly today. Fair play to Bookcheck, he had a lot of traffic to get through. Where did he start on the grid? Let me have a look down. Where was it? Ford would have started 21st, Bookcheck. And currently finds himself up in third. Varley his work really less, but I'm sure Bookcheck's had a little bit more to do. Bookcheck really trying to close down Curtin here. Varley already 3/4 of a second he's managed to pull on Varley. This is the penultimate lap. Be one more I think, or maybe two more after this, just depends on the clock. I'll have another minute or so, minute and a quarter to get round here, and then one more lap. I think that'll be it. I think this is the penultimate lap.
Sort of makes you wonder how the tyres are lasting for them, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, I think that may be why Curtin hasn't dropped pace. Just that Varley just seems to have just been immense his second part. Perhaps he looked after his tyres in the first part of the race, or that McLaren is particularly good. But
He might have, yeah.
I know the Bentley does come good in the second half of the race as well. But it just saw from the speed, he just hasn't got the pace down the straight to get past. And I think that's his problem he's had with Varley earlier on, and with Curtin now. The only way he's going to get past Curtin is at this point, I think, or maybe into 1 and 2, and run down to 3. Maybe that's his opportunity there. But Bookcheck doing all he can to get past Curtin here. Meanwhile, Varley, is this his opportunity?
No!
They're going to touch. They've touched.
No!
Oh, an ACC
Oh,
does
dear.
its ACC.
Curtin's
Curtin's gone sideways, and that's going to seal the victory for Varley. Bookcheck's waiting for Curtin. He can have to get the space back by the end of the... There he goes through. That's unfortunate, but that has literally handed the race. Phil Varley's got one more lap to do, and that's going to be his race. That's really unfortunate. Bookcheck knew he had to make a move at some point. Tried it on that second or penultimate corner, and they just came together, and unfortunately the NSX flipped sideways, and that's really unfortunate for Curtin. I don't think he had much chance of pulling Varley back, and if anything that might have sealed second place for him, because I think Bookcheck will be a little bit embarrassed and eating a bit of humble pie after that one. But meanwhile,
Yeah, but that was a racing incident. I don't think he, on purpose.
Oh no, there's nothing malice about it. That's why he's obviously let the car back through. But I think that if he made another move on Curtin, now it would have to be immaculate to make it work. So it may well have sealed Curtin's second place there. But out in front, the one guy who's driven absolutely brilliantly all race.
Well done to him, man.
I know it's been absolutely brilliant. Fastest lap of the race, and he looks like he's going to take that McLaren for its win. After that incident, he's got 10 seconds on Curtin. That's not how close it's been all race. It's been a lot closer than that. It's just unfortunate that Curtin and Bookcheck come together at that last corner. No danger of them losing that position. Plate's 10 seconds behind them. But it looks like this is going to be your top three as they're going to come across the line in a few minutes, or a minute or so. Varley, Curtin and Bookcheck, all three of them driven absolutely brilliantly all race.
If we could talk to one or two of them at least, I would absolutely love that, because honestly, as you said, Martin, well done. I mean, to them all, this has been an hour and a half of amazing race. Kurtzen had extreme, how can I say this, consistency. Varley had a lot of pace, and Butchek just was able to just stick it in behind there. And have such a good mixture of both, and he kind of just,
Varley gives it a little wag as he comes across the line. Congratulations, Phil Varley takes round 3.
Well done,
Poor
Phil.
Ricard. Great pace from Phil Varley. Takes the win. Behind them, Oliver Curtin just coming around the final corner with
we need to see Oliver. Hi, Oliver.
Curtin crosses the line for 2nd. Nice racing from Curtin. Bookcheck comes home in 3rd. Mo Plate is just going to come round. In fact, he's already round the final corner. Crosses the line in 4th. Erin Shablom there in 5th with that amazing Lexus. I want to buy that car. Madley's there in 6th. Let's go and have a look. Jazz Forsberg just coming around the final couple of corners for his well-deserved 7th place. It's being pushed by Simcox, but that's going to be your 7th and 8th there. Jazz Forsberg, Ian Simcox in 8th. Petterpeck, you can see in the blue and white Ferrari, is going to come home in 9th, ahead of Kruger. Newcomer, just coming through here now. Here's Kruger.
Well done, man. All these cars, all these racers raced their hearts out. And
Kelleher just crossed the line as well there as well. Well done to him for finishing the race. That couldn't have been easy. Kruger comes home in 10th. Newcomer 11th. Dorr there in 12th. Lemke's made his way up to 13th. That's a great finish for him. Where did he come from?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
So Lemke's up to 13th. Nigel Wood just there in 14th. Sharp's going to be 15th. Mad Owl 16th. Godzilla and Rigel are still fighting like they have been virtually all the second half of the race. But Rigel is going to come in behind Godzilla. Godzilla takes 17th. Rigel 18th. Adam Sharp finishes ahead of them two in 16th. Dale Green's unfortunately dropped back again at the end of the race. There comes 19th. Debug 20th. John D 21st. The unfortunate Rick Binnersley has been involved in every possible accident today in 22nd. Flack 23rd. Kevin Shepherd 24th. Peter Varga 25th. Daniel Barnett 26th. That's going to be a real kick in his championship potential there. Matt Shablom 27th. Miko Sky 28th. And I say rounding out your guy at the end. Dale Caddo just crossed the line there in 29th. Pinpoint and Charger. We heard from Charger why he didn't finish, and Pinpoint also out of the race. There's your top 30. And that was amazing. I enjoyed commentating on that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That was awesome.
Martin, we're not quite done yet. Look who we have in the VC. We have our top 3 in here. I had a bit of a talk with Charger. So, do we want to ask them a few questions?
You go for it, man. Do your interviewing.
Okay. Okay, fine. I'll do it then. You have to be tired. Varley, may I? Are you here? Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, Phil, Martin, if you have anything to add in, just shout.
I'm just going to go straight away. Phil Varley, that was fucking awesome, mate. What a drive. You were so quick in the second part of that race. You just reeled him in. I do feel really sorry for Oliver Curtin. He drove fantastically, but just didn't have your pace, which was just immense, mate. And I'm going to shut up now.
Oh, cheers.
Varley, I do want to ask, adding to that, what was the strategy? We were talking about possible tire saving. Were you kind of saving your tires at the beginning, or how did that work? How did you have so much damn pace at the end of the race?
I'm not sure, I'll be honest, but I love Paul Ricard. I think it flows really well for a GT car. Beginning of the race, I had fairly light fuel because I knew I had the pace to cut through the field. And then, fortunately, I just managed to add a bit of a crappy stop because Goat friend Emil, he parked right in front of my pit box, so I couldn't actually see it.
Oh no!
So, we came out side by side, so that got him, which was good because the Lexus is rapid in a straight line. And then, I just drove consistently throughout the race. You just got to look after the tyres from the very beginning. As soon as you start spinning them up, it just cascades from there.
What was that? If I may ask, what were those final few laps with? I mean, especially when he just got past Curtin. I mean, those were intense 3 or 4 corners. What was that those few laps? What were they like? What was going through your head at that point just to keep you going?
Well, as I was catching up to Curtin, I could see I was gaining all the time in the final sector. So I just stuck the nose in, put him offline, and that gave the track position to do the move. I knew the Bentley was slow in a straight line, so I wasn't too concerned as long as I could keep it a second. But yeah, getting past that Honda on the straight was the important bit.
Amazing race. I think,
Brilliant.
as Martin said, amazing race.
It was brilliant.
You drove honestly one of the best races I've seen in a while. Congrats on that P1. Enjoy
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Don't celebrate too hard.
Oliver, are you there, man?
I hope he is.
Yeah.
Oliver,
what did you do in the pit stop, man? Because you gained 7.5 seconds in the pit stop. Were you like fully fueled at the start?
Yes, I was. So yeah, that was the goal. I prefer to start with full fuel, and then I was hoping because I could see just before the stop that Sjöblom and Varley were catching up, and I was hoping that they would spend a bit more time than me in the box. And when I left with about 7 seconds of gap, I was happy, but it was not enough in the end.
No, I mean, you were perfect throughout all of it. And I must admit, I completely missed you coming out of the pitch because you were so in and out so quickly. And then when I saw that 7.5 seconds, then all the time, Varley was just quickly nipping out half a second here. And you probably don't realise this when you're driving, but the pace that Varley was on, it was like fastest lap after. It's purple all the time.
Yeah, and I was hoping it would destroy the tires, but it was also the case.
Yeah, I mean, under that pressure, I don't think you put a tyre wrong all race. Unfortunately, he just had a little bit more pace than you. Unfortunately, really, I hate to say it's sad because obviously what Phil did was immense, but I did feel really sorry for you, man, because you did everything right in that race apart from cross the line.
Yeah, the start was not very good, and I was maybe not aggressive enough to pass a couple of cars in the beginning. And maybe there's a few seconds that missed in the end, but that's racing. And well done, Phil. Well done, Ignasi. I'm not sure what happened at the end, whose fault it is, but thanks for waiting. And yeah, it was a good race in the end.
Oliver, I do want to ask you. Did you when you came out of the pits, did you feel like you were going to win the race? Was that in your mind, or were you just at a place of, I just want to do the best I can? What was like kind of your mindset through the second half?
I was almost confident I would win it. Then I could see Varley catching up, sometimes half a second, sometimes nothing. And so I thought, okay, maybe his tires are getting a bit old. But in the end, yeah, there was nothing I could do. So I was not 100% sure, because you cannot ever be 100% sure. But I was fairly confident, but that was wrong.
Okay, well, at least, I mean, honestly, once again, extremely consistent. We were constantly talking about you. You never made a mistake. Really, really consistent. Unfortunately, what happened between you and Butchek, unfortunately that happened. But I personally don't think that was one of you trying to do it on purpose, just a racing incident. But honestly, yeah, I don't know how you're that consistent. I'll take some lessons from you sometime. But really well done, man. Really, really, really well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And to be fair to him, I think that was just because it was like, obviously he could see Varley getting away. We noticed that Bentley didn't really have a lot of pace down the straight. I mean, we're looking at VMAXs of like 290 on some cars. I mean, that Lexus, I think Phil said earlier, is so quick down the straight. It's ridiculous. But we watched Ignazzi from his view. I don't think it ever got over 280, I don't think. So, and to, if you haven't got that sort of pace at the end of the straight, you're not going to make the move. And the only way he could do it was through that twisty part of the circuit. So I'm not saying it was inevitable it was going to happen, but it was just unfortunate the two of you came together. You were so far ahead of fourth, though, that, it was never going to put your second and third places in danger. So, yeah, I think it was a move that had to be made, but you just come together just ever so slightly. And ACC did its thing where you had a slight tap and then you went 90 degrees right, unfortunately.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's indeed that happens, and there was nothing, no hard feelings.
Yeah, good stuff. Mr. Bookcheck, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
And how did you find that race? Was your Bentley just not quick enough in a straight line, or was it? What can you tell us?
It's a shitbox, yeah.
So really, tell us what you really feel.
I've never gone faster than 274 at any point in the race, even in the draft, so...
Yeah, I think that sort of tells the whole story, man, because you just got to the end of the straight. You just had no pace to get past anybody, and we saw that online on the stream. So,
But I do have to say, sorry, Martin. I do have to say, that whole race though, even with you struggling with the top speed, you still did amazing well. Just sticking behind, especially sticking behind, sticking behind Varley, really extremely well. And through the whole race, it was kind of like you weren't really, how can I say this, constantly, attacking. So my question for you is like, were you kind of the whole race in a mode of you just want to, cleanly get to the front, or is it that you physically didn't have anything to attack with?
Just to add to that, I mean, were you hanging on to Varley there at the end, or were you driving like your tits off, or was it like easy for you at the end?
I mean, on some laps I was quicker than him, I think. So I had the pace. Just the car wasn't there to overtake anyone. I was patient throughout the whole race. I was just sitting and waiting until everything would come to me. I was really close to jumping Valley in the pits because I got hit 2 laps before pitting and lost like 2-3 seconds of track time and a bit damage, a bit of damage. So if I would come out ahead of him, I think I'd have a chance because I had some pace.
Yeah.
But that one incident before the pits has cost me dearly, and I was just stuck behind everyone.
That's a real shame because you're right. If it had come out, because you were always within about a second of Varley, to be fair, he was never pulling away from you. But yeah, if it had come out in front of you, that might have been a completely different race. So yeah, good point. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Martin, do you wanna ask any more questions to anyone?
No, I just want to say to the three of them, I mean, it provided excellent entertainment all the way through the race, and it wasn't so much like swapping places and backwards and forwards overtaking, but just I mean, I felt the pressure from the commentary box of Phil Varley chasing down Oliver Curtin. So God knows what they must have felt like in the cockpit. And then to see book checking, I think it was about 15 minutes to go. We had the three of you in one camera shot, and we knew at that point it was going to be an immense finish. I mean, the overtake that Phil Varley did in the last, it took about 4 or 5 corners from the back end of the straight right to the final corner. But the quality of the driving to stay close together and side by side through all that part, not come together, and to make the overtake stick, that's the kind of thing that really makes watching sim racing enjoyable, because sometimes it looks better than real life.
Yeah, no, definitely true. And yeah, latching onto that, I'm not going to do an intro, Martin, I promise. You can do that. But yeah, I want to say, I think from myself, Martin, and the whole team, basically, you three, some of the best racers. Thank you guys for what you guys showed us. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you guys for all the support. This honestly has been an immense race. I think we can all agree on that. And it's been tough. It's honestly been tough. Personally, I'm new to the league. I cannot wait for future leagues. Don't worry, Curtin. Next one, you'll beat Varley. It's easy game. But seriously though, you all three from my side as well. You guys have genuinely impressed me. I'll definitely be calling you guys up and asking for training lessons at this point. But yeah, everyone who watched, everyone who had comments, everyone who raced, everyone who sees this, thank you guys so much. I think from myself and Martin's side, it means a crap ton.
Yeah, and don't forget, next week we'll be back here at the same time again next Saturday. We're racing around Mazzano next time. I know. In the evening, 1900 hours start time, so 7 p.m. In race time. Obviously, we'll be here at the same time on the stream, wherever you are, in whichever time zone you're in, but around 9 p.m. UK time. Join us for that next week, and you can watch these guys go at it again. It should be awesome. The three of you, thanks for joining us. I know it's been a hard race for you, and you're probably going to want to go and get a drink or a shower or whatever. Really appreciate you joining this commentary box, but we'll let you go. Thanks again to all of you, and congratulations to Phil Varley for what was an awesome race, mate. Well done.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for commentating. I'll look forward to replay.
Good stuff. Cheers, guys.
How do we end the stream?
Guys.